Good morning. Welcome to Port Dickson. It's about 20 after 7 in the morning. This is my new home behind me, my new temporary home. I'm just heading out for an early morning walk. I was checking online looking for a good breakfast place, and it does say that ZUS Coffee is open at 7 in the morning, and ZUS Coffee is right down on the water. So even if I don't find a breakfast spot, I can at least have a cup of coffee at ZUS down by the water. Nice and cool right now. Sun isn't out yet, so I get to go for a stroll around my neighborhood. And yeah, so this is a residential neighborhood where I'm staying in Port Dickson. It's pretty much in the town itself, but just outside of the business core. So as you can tell, it is a residential, which means guard dogs. So over here, over there. Yeah. This, I don't know, this tone or this atmosphere of being extremely concerned about security is something that really hits me when I head out almost anywhere in Malaysia, in residential areas in particular, like walled communities around condominium complexes with gates, security guards that you have to get past to go inside. And then the homes themselves are like castles. They're like walled compounds. High walls around all of them, like here. And then big steel gateways, locked. Everything behind walls, and even guard birds too. They're not quite as annoying as the dogs, but almost. Yeah, the dogs are quite something here in general. They're not really family pets, but they're kept basically for security. And they're pretty much encouraged to bark savagely at anyone who goes by. And it's not usually a problem, I don't think, for local people because they don't walk anywhere. Nobody ever walks here, they just drive. But me, dumb foreigner that I am, I'm always either walking or cycling. And then, yeah, I get barked at all the time by these dogs. And I just feel bad that I'm disturbing the family by, I'm basically setting off their alarm system every time I walk by. But I came here yesterday morning, went for a little bit of a walk to get from my new house to the downtown core, like all the way to ZUS Coffee on the waterfront, maybe 20 minutes walk, something like that. But you pass a lot of interesting sights. I mean, as I said, the walled homes of residential Malaysia, everybody behind their barricades, and then a surprising number of big buildings and large residential homes here. I'm not quite sure what this is. I wanted to check it out, but I didn't yesterday. There is a temple here, but this huge building, very impressive structure. I don't know if it's a home. It looks like a home to me. Someone wealthy lives here, but it could also be part of the temple complex. I'm not sure. But yeah, check that out. Yeah, and there's a sign on the gate, and beware of the dog. So yeah, I guess it's a house. My gosh. To be honest, I honestly, when I saw it from a distance, I thought it was part of the temple, but clearly it's separate. There's a gateway with some cars inside. Number 1, the address there says. And here's a Buddhist temple. But even more modern homes here are still quite large. Look at that. I mean, it's a big house. 3 stories, and then even a rooftop balcony way up at the top. Big enclosed yard, surrounded by fences. And I think we'll be passing a few more of them as I walk downtown. Wow, that is something else. Yeah, look at all the security cameras. They're probably, if they have any live-in security guards, I'm sure they're peering very closely at their screens right now as they see me walking around with a camera. They think I might be casing the joint or something, but no, they don't have to worry. I'm just a harmless fellow with a GoPro and a YouTube channel. And yeah, I noticed yesterday a fair number of stray dogs too, like this big fellow. Hey there. Yeah, I've seen them running around in packs, kind of a papa dog. That's the papa dog and mama dog, and then there's puppies and things, but yeah, quite a few of them. But yeah, I can't get over this house off to my left. That is something else. One must do some research, figure out who lives in there. I'm being followed, Papa Dog. And I think I've seen this dog hanging out with the one up ahead there. But yeah, you get a nice view of this house from over here too. And you can see way up at the top, there's a balcony, almost like a tower at the top of the house. Right there. It'd be nice to go up there and check this out. Must be yeah, I don't know what that is. An old tree, now covered in vines. It feels like almost like an abandoned structure from a post-apocalyptic world. Yeah, so here's the dog pack. Mama, Papa, puppies. Hey there. I have no idea whether they're friendly or not. Somehow, I mean, they're definitely street dogs. I think they're interested more in food than love, and I don't have any food for them. Big school over there. This is the rear of the school. So at first I didn't recognize that it was a school, but then you started to see all the students in their uniforms. And on the other side, you can see that, yeah, a traditional school. Another big, beautiful house here, gated. Kampung Dobi, it says on the address there. And these are pleasant little places here. They look like the architecture reminds me of the 50s from the US, 1950s style almost, the color, pastels. Wow, this is a very nice one here. All sealed up, but yeah, that looks like a more traditional kampung home. Wooden, all the wooden shutters. And something I noticed made a big impression on me coming around this corner. We'll see it in a minute or two. There's a Mariamman temple. Oh, it's still quite a ways away, a couple blocks away, but off in this direction. Large, ornate Hindu temple, Mariamman. And you see one of these Mariamman temples most places. Like Kuala Lumpur is famous for its elaborate and very colorful Mariamman temple, and there's one in Penang as well. There again, check that out. The guard dog, two guard dogs. Good morning, how are you? Beautiful house. Security cameras, high wall, barbed wire. Oh no, that's an electrified wire, look at that. Yeah, electrified wires all the way around the top. We've got dueling cameras there looking at me, and I'm looking at them. Port Dickson, I bet you there's a lot going on here. As a foreigner, as a visitor to a town like this, I could probably never fully understand the complexities of life here, the society, and the longer you'd live in a place like this, there's probably layer after layer that you would uncover as you learn more about the place and the people who live here and how they're organized. Again, as a visitor here for a short time, you have no hope of really understanding how the place operates. And, wow, another beautiful spot here. I just stopped to check something on my GoPro, adjust a setting, but I quickly get driven away. You can't really stop anywhere because if you stop moving, eventually all the local dogs find you and start barking at you and causing a ruckus. So yeah, they're like, move it along, buddy, move it along. You don't live here, you don't smell right. And the dogs are not happy. Well, they're happy actually, to be honest. It's just what they do. It's just their job. And I think they're instinctively, of course, just protecting their property. That's what they do. They have instincts for that. So behind the fence, that's what they do. They bark at you. And yeah, just up here on the corner, you can just start to see the corner of the Mariamman temple. Very ornate. I haven't been inside. I'm thinking about when and how I might be able to take a bit more of a tour of the inside. But the spectacular thing about these temples, of course, are the towers with the carvings. You can see the main tower here at the front, and then one in the courtyard, and all of the carved figures. I'll have to come back here with my Olympus camera. I've got a little bit of a better lens, and I'll be able to zoom in on those figures and capture some of the detail of all of those figures. All of the stories of Hinduism encapsulated in that architecture and all of the statues. I love the bright colors. The Mariamman temple in KL was recently refurbished and painted, so all of the colors were freshened. It's very vibrant now. These colors have faded a little bit more pastel-y than prime colors. And this is interesting too, on my left, immigration building. And the reason they have an immigration office in Port Dickson is, of course, because they have the dock here and the boats that go in and out of Sumatra. So, of course, they have immigration offices at the ferry dock, but then they have supporting staff here for immigration as well. And this is the front of the school that I mentioned. Just on just the impressions I've had from the time I've spent in Port Dickson, as a very large Indian community. So this is a Tamil school. I don't know how much students are separated here. That's something I could ask some questions about. I don't really know about that. Because you have the Chinese community, the Indian community, and the Malay. And you often find yourself in the Indian neighborhood or the Chinese neighborhood or the Malay neighborhood, but I don't know how divided everything is, like at the school level. Indian students generally go to Indian schools, Malay students to Malay schools, etc. That I don't really know. Or are they all mixed up in a jumble as they would be in Canada? I have a feeling there's a certain separation at the school level as well, because I did say it's a Tamil school. That was the name of it. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what this is either. I noticed this the other day. I've seen it before. the Port Dickson Bandar Tentara Darat. So it's related to the military, of course, just you can tell from the language and from the pictures, but I don't know what is inside this building. It's a restaurant down on the main floor, I know that. But I don't think I've seen it at night. It looks like they have a lighting system. These cords look like neon, right? Outlining the soldiers. And yeah, maybe this, you can see it better over here. There's like neon cords outlining these men. And then even that ladder and the helicopter has it, but I don't know whether they're still functional. I have a feeling they're not. I think if they were working, I would see an electrical outlet or a cord going into that hole over there. I'm guessing that this doesn't light up at night anymore, but who knows? I'll find out at some point, I guess. But yeah. A lot of local restaurants all up and down these strip malls here. This is where I had my dinner yesterday, actually, right here. This is where I had dinner. I didn't know it at the time, but it's sort of a fish head. They specialize in fish head dishes. I saw that on the menu later on. But I did not order fish head. I just had rice, veggies, some chicken, things like that. But yeah, that's where I had dinner. But I have my eye on another place. What's the name of it? Something Corner. Let me look up the names. The name may have changed. I think there was a change of ownership. I haven't been to this place before, but it's called... I found the name of the place and my phone was offline. I didn't realize it. That's why it wasn't coming up. But the restaurant is called Hui Ong Corner. H-U-I. I'm assuming it's pronounced Hui, but I don't know for sure. Hui Ong Corner. And they serve things like wonton mee and noodles and simple breakfast dishes. So if it's open and it's not too busy, I'll pop in there. And I'm on foot, of course, but I seem to be following the traffic route. It's almost like I'm driving, even though I'm not, because yeah, there was no natural way to just walk a direct route. Again, it gets to that idea that Malaysia is just a land it just didn't evolve with pedestrians in mind. I always find that so interesting. It's all cars and motorcycles and trucks. So even as you're walking, there's no separate way to go as a pedestrian. The giant police station, the color blue, is very much associated with the police here, but I guess worldwide. But here they take it all the way to the level of the buildings. So even the police stations are blue. Okay, what is going on here? I've never took a close look at this before. Oh, fascinating. Yeah, there used to be a train service, and I've read about it, and I've come across references to it, and here's one of the remnants of the old train system. Look at that, still got some tracks visible going underneath the roadway, and this would have been the gates for stopping cars to allow the trains to go through, and they still keep them here. That's amazing. I assume these would have been torn down and taken away. Oh, and they even have controls here for the tracks. Anybody out there that loves trains might find this interesting. Look at that. They still have the original switchers for moving the tracks. That is something else. Yeah, they're gonna be rusted into place. I'm not gonna be moving that unless I've got the power of Superman. But yeah, amazing. Yeah, they still have some, like the control system here, moving these in and out in order to move the tracks. Yeah, it looks like something the historical society should really sink their teeth into this and rebuild it and save it while it still exists in this form. rather than getting rid of it. But yeah, but I don't know, not a whole lot of it left. On the other side there, you see there's just bits and pieces, but I'm amazed there's anything left. It's too bad the train doesn't run here anymore. It would have been so handy to zip back and forth to KL, like on a KTM train. That would be amazing. But you have to go to Seremban, nearby city, by bus, and then from there you can get your KTM train to KL. It's not that hard to do. Port Dickson sign. When I was here before, I was always cycling. I was never on foot, so I've never done things like this, like never walked to the clock. I rode around this traffic circle countless times, but I was never on foot walking around it, so this is new. I'm looking for a way to get to the clock without walking along the grass, but I don't know if there are any sidewalks or not. It's possible that there's no no access. As I said, pedestrians, we are forgotten in Malaysia for the most part. Well, I say that, but look at this. Nice sidewalk here. Very early in the morning, so it's not so busy, but there's still a lot of traffic going around this circle. Well, if I want to get a closer look, I have no choice but to walk across the grass. I don't see any other way of getting to the center. I don't know anything about this clock tower. Is the time accurate? Almost, yeah, pretty much. So the clock is still working. Oh no. 6, 7, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's about 7:45, so it's accurate right now. Looks really well cared for, which is nice. The gardening here, the landscaping, it's very nice. MPPD. Can't quite make that out. Majlis Perpandaran Port Dickson. I don't know what that means. I need a plaque. I need my historical plaque to tell me what the heck is going on here. How old is this? Ladder going up. Speakers. Yeah, I don't know what kind of noise it makes on a timer, or if it does anything like that at all. No idea. Yeah, you need a ladder to reach the ladder. Of course, if you're athletic, you could jump up there and pull yourself up, but it's clearly designed to keep vandals from climbing up there too easily. Yeah, big speaker set down here. Tons of controls over here. Huh, I'm surprised it's all out in the open like that. Not sealed behind some sort of a security box. And light switches, and oh no, I guess these are just switches for the power. But no plaque. Can't tell you anything about the history right now. But then my pedestrian concerns appear again, because now that I'm on this island, this traffic island, how do I get out of here? Obviously, I'm going to be able to get out of here, but there's nothing in place. This is all early morning traffic. It's kind of non-stop, to be honest, coming around these two corners. Going to have to just head out and make my way. There's a little bit of a break. And now we've got a cyclist. Morning. There we go. Feel like I'm back in Vietnam. There we go. We survived. There's the clock tower. Fire station. Classic red and white for fire stations, yeah. Balai Bomba, Port Dickson. I remember visiting the famous one in Penang. Has a long, storied history. The Bomba. Quiet Port Dickson until the weekend. Then it comes to life. Bus station right up ahead. If you want to go to KL, this is where you start. Hop on a bus. Takes you to Seremban, and then you can change over to a train if you like, or another bus. I don't know if there are any direct buses, KL to Port Dickson. I'm not aware of any, but they could easily exist. And there's a large strip mall up here with a big department store, and that is where the Hui Ong Corner is located. One of the most famous landmarks in all of Port Dickson. Joking, but for me it's true right there. Boston PD. That's where I got my Planet Doug name cards printed. And it looks like there's a restaurant here, very Restaurant S and Mohammed. There's two sites right there. Very busy, I noticed. So when you need breakfast early in the morning, that's one option. Indian food there, Indian breakfasts. Public washrooms in the park, that's kind of nice. But it is a tourist town, so I guess you would expect to see a little bit of things like that, public bathrooms. And there's a nice 7-Eleven here in this strip mall just up ahead. Got your KFC. This walk is giving me an appetite, so I'm going to go for food first. If I do go to a coffee shop, I'll do that after I have some breakfast. Assuming they're open and not too busy. There were some reviews online talked about how busy they can get this place, but that's mainly on the weekend, I think. And there was a change of ownership, so I may not even recognize the name, but we'll find out. There's this 7-Eleven right there. Typical one, big, full service. Very handy for foreigners like me. If a local town has a 7-Eleven, if all else fails, we can always pop into a 7-Eleven and get ourselves a cold drink, a SIM card, a sandwich. We can survive. Hopefully, I'm zeroing in on my breakfast spot. Right across the road there, that's the department store I mentioned, Billion. Not a modern one, but I assume they have discount prices. They're usually bustling in the morning, or bustling all day. And this Hui Ong Corner is opposite Pasar Raya Billion. Yeah, check out the dogs up ahead. Dog pack, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. Puppies, adults. Yeah. A gang and a family all at the same time. I must admit I'm not feeling optimistic because it is me we're talking about. According to Google Maps, they're open at 7 and it's now 8. And I don't see anything unless it's this one right here. As I said, there's an ownership change, so I don't really know what their name is anymore. whether it's changed or not. Huh. According to Google Maps, it's actually over here. Maybe it's over there on the corner. I see people. So maybe I'm just on the wrong side entirely. Okay. So, a little bit of optimism. And it is called Hui Ong Corner. And this is on the corner. So maybe it's actually over here. It's just not the pin. Google Maps pin maybe is not accurate. Okay, is there anything going on? No, there's so far nothing here. So I don't know where this place is. Huh. Well, I guess the only game in town is this place here. Maybe that is it. I'll show them the name of the place I'm looking for on Google Maps. Maybe they can tell me it's them. Well, it says sweet and dessert shop, so that can't be right. Excuse me.
Yes, anyone?
I'm looking for this one restaurant. I don't know if it exists anymore.
What's the name restaurant? What's the name?
Hui Ong Corner. There's the Chinese name.
Hui Ong.
Yeah, it says it's supposed to be right here, but I don't see it anymore.
Hui Ong. You want having breakfast?
Yeah, wonton mee.
Oh, here also got the golden just.
Oh, this one here, Hui Ong Corner.
Oh. Why put the name there?
Yeah.
Hui Ong Corner.
So you don't know that place?
No, I'm the local. I know. Actually, you go straight. The first shop, they're selling wonton mee and everything.
Just down
Very
there?
nice. Yes, just my shop neighbor.
Left or right?
No, just here. You go straight.
Yeah.
Just turn right. First shop.
First shop. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
I'll be there later. I'll be there.
All right. I'll take a look.
Very nice. The wonton mee.
Yeah, there. It's very nice.
They got curry mee.
Curry mee.
Yes, they got curry mee. They got the rice noodle, everything.
Okay. It's open. It's open this morning.
Yeah, they open.
All right.
They rest on tomorrow. They off day.
Oh, I see it.
Just go straight.
Okay.
First shop.
First shop. Thank you very much.
They want the sister. They want to put the sister. Sister. They put that. The name. Yes, first shop.
Something
Just
sister.
Go straight, first shop. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I'll be there later.
Okay.
Just go straight.
Okay.
Turn right, the first shop.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, he had never seen or heard of that place. It even had a very nice picture on Google Maps of the front of the restaurant with the name and everything. And he says, no. I think he said, I'm a local, and even I've never seen that place. So, but he said, right up here, turn right, something sister. And he recommends their wonton mee. So I'm very excited. And he said he would be coming here later himself. And he said tomorrow is their day off. But today, he said, should be okay. Ah, Big Sista Kopitiam. There we go. Look at that. Persevere and good things start to happen. And I'm going to get the wonton mee. Comes highly recommended. Big Sista Kopitiam. That's amazing. Number 1 food and beverage station. Big Sista Kopitiam. And he said tomorrow is their day off, so my timing is good to come here today. Oh, look at this. Perfect. Exactly the kind of place I was looking for. Hello. Good morning. How are you?
Okay.
Good, good, good. You have a wonton mee? Ah, over here. Ah. Ah, okay. I have right here. WT mee soup. Wonton mee soup. Hello. What about wonton mee?
This one.
Oh, you have this one?
This one is soup.
I see. Oh, okay. This one.
Small one.
Large.
Big one.
Big one. Oh. Isn't that crazy? I was so careful setting up the camera, and the whole time I was thinking, don't bump the table, don't hit the table, don't hit the table, because you're going to spill your coffee, right? Or you're going to spill your soup. And as soon as I got everything ready and I'm all set to go, I try to sit down and I slam my knee into the table. And my coffee goes sloshing like a coffee tsunami. But yeah, I mean, that's the world of, it's technically not really my fault because plastic tables, right? The modern world. This were like an old school, real wooden table. You wouldn't be so careful. So, wonton mee. There were two of them there. I guess there was wonton mee soup. And that's the first one I pointed at because I recognized the noodles. But then he pointed out, oh, okay, that's the soup version. Is that the one you want? Or do you want the dry? And this morning I wanted the dry. So we got some pickles, sweet pickles. These are much bigger than what I'm used to. Usually smaller. Pork, I believe, wonton, the noodles, broth. That was 8 ringgit. And then kopi susu, 2 ringgit. And as I've mentioned many times already, the deal at these kopitiams, more or less, is that the property is owned by, generally it's owned by whoever makes the drinks. They own this space and they rent out space to these stalls. So when you come in here, you order from them your food, but then they come to your table and take your drinks order, and the drink is, I would say, I think you can say as a foreigner, you can say, no, I don't want to drink, and you'll be okay. But the general idea is that you must buy a drink as part of being able to eat here. And then basically, it allows you to sit at one of their tables. Table rental. Yeah, my coffee, tsunami. At least it all stayed in the saucer. Oh, that's nice. When I licked my spoon, all I tasted was sugar, but now I think the sugar is still on the bottom. I didn't stir it up enough. That's a nice cup of coffee. That is nice. So in case the idea didn't come across, like here is the whole interior, and there's different food operators. So this is the wonton mee place, and there's another one there, and then yeah, they all serve different food items, and but they all share the same tables. So here is my wonton mee. It looks really good. Very excited. So there's the wonton mee, the fancy panning shot with a GoPro, and my cup of coffee. And there's poor Dickson out there. Time to dive in. First is the pickles. Not as sweet as the small ones. Somewhere in between. It's pretty tangy, actually. These are like tangy pickles. Yeah. When the guy served me, he offered me chopsticks or a fork. I can choose. And I said to him, both? And he says, okay. And he gave me the fork. So he didn't know what I said, but he just made the assumption that, well, the foreigner will probably prefer a fork. So he went with that. But for wonton mee, a fork is probably the better tool anyway. These noodles get very clumpy, and lifting, tearing out the noodles with chopsticks is a bit of a struggle. But I do like chopsticks for the delicate grabbing of the pickles, things like that. So I like to have both. Small wonton. I find it an interesting dish though, because it's called wonton mee. These are the wontons. The noodles are the mee. But to be honest, the most expensive part of the meal is the pork on top, the sliced pork. So really, I remember the first time I ordered wonton mee, I thought I was getting noodles and wontons, and that's all I was going to get. And it was kind of a pleasant surprise that it actually had a big amount of sliced sort of roast pork as well. But that's not part of the name for some reason. You just assume that's what you get. In the broth. I don't think the camera was running at the time, but I did pay with touch and go, which I really enjoy. So he has a DuitNow QR code there. Scanned it with my phone. But no touch and go for the coffee. That was a 2 ringgit cash transaction. Breakfast is done. Worked out very well. Couldn't find my first choice, but my second choice, I'm sure, is even better. Just as good at the very least. #1 food and beverage station. And as I said, where's the original sign, the name of it up here? #1 food, and there it is. Yeah, so there's the old sign. I like that one. Big Sista Kopitiam. Big Sis Kopitiam. That's so cool. Since I'm out walking, since I'm out and about, I thought I'd continue on down to the waterfront. I seem to be giving a small tour of Port Dickson, at least giving an introduction to the place, a very light, casual introduction. And you can't do that without coming down to the water. Port Dickson itself started as a fishing village long ago, centuries ago. It was a Malay fishing village, and I think its name was Arang. And the name it has now, it got this name because the British High Commissioner, Sir John Frederick Dickson, he developed Arang in connection with the tin ore. So they built a railroad line from KL to to Arang at the time to transport the mine, and this became a very bustling shipping harbor, not just for the mine products, but for spices and things like that. Became a very busy shipping port, and they changed the name to Port Dickson in honor of Sir John Frederick Dickson, the British High Commissioner. He wasn't living here, I don't think. He was based in Singapore at the time. That's where he was. But he had a large hand in developing Port Dickson. So I'm down by the waterfront now. Got a Starbucks. Look at that. Kenny Rogers Roasters. McDonald's over there. Bicycle rentals over here. And of course, the main attraction of Port Dickson today is found in the beaches. There aren't swimming beaches right here per se, but if you move south along the coast, you come across a lot of very long, beautiful, sandy beaches. And that is what the town is all about today, as people come from Kuala Lumpur on the weekends to enjoy the beaches. Yeah, here's all the bike rentals. But yeah, it's a very popular tourist town now. The big PD waterfront sign. And off in that direction, you can see those very large buildings. Those are all condominium complexes for people who come down here for the weekend, places where they can stay with access to the beaches. And assuming I have my geography straight, that is Cape Rachado over there. And I visited Cape Rachado when I was here before. Quite a well-known nature preserve now, that whole cape. Beautiful hiking area, and they have a historic lighthouse there. And the lighthouse was essential for shipping up and down the Straits of Malacca. Also very popular for sport fishermen. Just thought of that because you can see a man up ahead there getting his fishing gear ready. PD Shoreline, that's what locals call it, by the way. PD for Port Dickson. Fairly nicely developed along here. Sort of an odd sign. I'm sort of a student of signs. I think about them. Like this one says, motorcycle and bicycle not allowed, and yet they have several businesses renting bicycles for tourists, and then they say ride at your own risk. So I'm not, it's like mixed messages. You can't ride a bicycle, but ride at your own risk. So I'm not quite sure what the message is. I'm not quite sure what the takeaway is. Maybe, I don't know. You can ride a bicycle in Port Dickson, just not on this particular trail, but then you do, I don't know. I can't figure out what they mean by that sign. And I always wonder about the people who are busy inside sign workshops or at government offices writing down the text. Like, what should the sign say? What are we trying to tell people? And then they just give up and write down any old nonsense, whether it makes sense or not. I don't often see boats I see boats anchored, like this big tugboat out there is just sort of sitting there. I don't see a lot of boats coming and going from these docks, but there's one right now. I don't know what kind of a boat that is. Could be a covered tourist boat, but I'm not aware of any tourist boats running out of these small piers. Who knows what it could be. But here is ZUS Coffee right on the water. So after my breakfast and kopi susu, I don't really feel like I need to have coffee, but I'm going to anyway because, yeah, I'm doing the thing here in Port Dickson. And while I'm in the mood, better take advantage. Yeah, ZUS Coffee. I've been here one other time. A Planet Doug subscriber brought me here, in fact. And we sat out there on the veranda. Every Tuesday is ZUS Day. So I assume there's some sort of a deal. But let's just walk over to the other side for a minute. Oh, another coffee shop here. A little bit more boutique-y, a bit more exclusive perhaps. The Cove, look at that. Established in 2023. Wow, this one is nice. Coffee and croissant, combo delight. I like anything that has a map of the world as part of their decor like that. And then, so this is Cove Coffee. Yes, Cove Coffee House. Looks very nice. And then they're not right on the water though. Hexa Bar is right here. So Hexa Bar has snagged the waterfront. Oh, I guess, okay. They share it with the Cove, so you could get your coffee at the Cove and then you could sit out here. But it looks like ZUS has sort of captured the local market. It seems like I can see most people just sort of popping into ZUS. So anyway, I'm just saying their ZUS is pretty strong competition for the Cove over here. Mainly because it looks like ZUS has a better waterfront option, as you can see. Nice. Anyway, that's where I'm going as well. Just for fun, take advantage of their selfie station. I thought it was a swing. I was going to sit down and swing back and forth, but it's actually fixed into position. So this is where you get your selfie at the Cove. So let's pop into ZUS for something iced. Now I feel bad that I walked all the way around the Cove, but I'm not going to go in there. Yeah, here's the back to the waterfront, and this is where all the beaches would be. No, they're much longer and nicer than I expected when I checked them out. Wide, sandy beaches. But my favorite beach by far is out there, the Cape. There's a hidden beach there, Monkey Beach. But you have to climb down a hill quite a distance to get to it. Very secluded, a very nice beach. That would be my choice. But yeah, as you can see, they developed the waterfront quite nicely. Nice parks here. Looks like there's a children's amusement park right over there. I hadn't seen that before either. I think it's either new, if it's permanent, it's something new, or maybe it's a traveling amusement park. But no, it looks permanent. This is funny. I kept seeing this sign all along the walkway, and just out of the corner of my eye, I thought it said power, like right here. I thought it was meant for power walking, like an exercise trail, but it's actually PDWF. So it stands for Port Dickson Waterfront. And just at a glance, I thought it said power, meant for power walking. This must have been here before. There's no way this is brand new, considering just the look of it. It's been around. It's got some wear and tear on it, some weathering, and yet I don't think I've ever seen it before, or never noticed it, which is kind of weird. Hello. But not having children, of course I don't go out of my way to find these things, but I would have noticed it, I think. Kind of hard to miss, right? Carousel, the classic pirate boat swing. But it does look a little bit like they're getting set up, like all of this is like a construction, right? Oh yeah, so okay. It does appear to be something that travels around. It looks like they can break all of this down and transport it from place to place. But anyway, looks like now is the time to come to Port Dickson with your kids of a certain age. Anyway, I'll trust you to know what age kids would like these. I have no idea. That's cute. Bumblebee. Swings here. paddle boats on a little pond. Again, despite spending a lot of time in Port Dickson, I've never seen this before. I've never seen these boats. So what is that? It either says about the boats, they're new, or it says something about me, that I'm just not very observant. Yeah, a lot of work going on. So looks like they're getting set up. I just spoke to a couple of people. They seem to be standing there talking about the place and discussing the setup and organization. So I asked them, and they said that no, they're getting set up right now, and tomorrow, that's Friday, is the grand opening. So they're planning to open tomorrow for this weekend. Today being today's Wednesday. So tomorrow's a Thursday. I guess Thursday kind of a break everything in, and then they'll be ready to go for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, their first weekend. I tried to find out where they were before. Like, what is this, an amusement park that travels around? But he said they're going to be here for 1 year. So they're setting up right now, and then they're opening this weekend, and then they're going to be in operation for 1 year. And he said something about this building, that if I wanted to know any more about it, I should come here or something. This must be the office, the managerial office for this place. Yeah. And I'm assuming this grassy park area is connected in some way, but I don't know what. But they're getting ready, it looks like, for this weekend as well. Oh. Oh, very exciting. I like those paintings up there. English cottages, basically. Cottage life. Wow. The things you find when you just go wandering around, right? Beautiful spot for this. Couldn't possibly get nicer than this. Check this out, the D Racing exhibit. My God, can you imagine if you were young enough to appreciate this and think it's amazing? This really would be amazing. Look at that. To have this whole, I assume it goes around as you drive the car. That would be so much fun. Love it. Yeah, it's right down here on the waterfront. Just past ZUS Coffee. Easy to get to. I have a coconut latte. Ice? Yeah, ice.
That's all, sir?
Pardon me?
That's all?
Right now, yeah, that's all. For here.
Your name?
Bob. B-O-B. You have touch and go?
9 ringgit 90 cents. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So I ordered a coconut latte. There's the counter area. Really nice, open and bright and airy. The blue color gives it a certain pizzazz. And I think I'm going to sit inside. But just to come out here for a minute to take a look around, that's very nice. In the evening when it's cool, that'd be a great area to sit. They even have some chairs here with backs on them. I'm a big fan of actual chairs. And yeah, very new place. Everything, the umbrellas here look really good condition. ZUS Coffee, a necessity, not a luxury. let's head inside where it's air conditioned. Thank you. I got here just in time for the delivery truck. And here's my coconut latte. Iced coconut latte. I told them my name was Bob. Much easier to spell. Barista. Coconut milk. Bit of a wobbly table. Yeah, I went to a ZUS Coffee the other day with Amir for a tour of the campus, and we went to a ZUS there, and they had these same biodegradable straws. They feel like hard plastic, but I guess they melt in hot coffee, and then even, yeah, they're biodegradable. And I'm going to turn this into my table leg adjuster. Fold it over a few times, get it nice and thick, jam it underneath the table leg. There we are. Perfect. Well, not perfect. It wobbles that way a little bit, but much, much better. So here I am in the heart of the activity. Just want to sample my coconut latte. Very carefully removing the lid. A lot of milk layer, coffee layer. Got to get that nicely stirred up. And once the delivery is done, the door will be closed and the truck will be gone. It'll be a lot quieter in here. Right now I feel like I'm in a parking lot. Right. Let's give this a try. Not bad. I feel like I want a bit more coconut. More coconut flavor. And more coffee flavor. I want more of everything. Yeah, but very refreshing. Very nice. I might see if I can get a cup of ice water maybe. Yeah, I need something to drink. So, I think I'm going to settle in here for a little while. I have my tools of the trade with me. I'm currently editing a bunch of videos on a smartphone, so I can just continue doing that right now for a little while. This just breaks my heart. Oh man, causes me so much pain. Look at that chain. Rusted solid. All of them are like that. It's hard to believe these are even rideable. They're so neglected. Yeah, I can't imagine that they're renting these out. All of the chains are just rusted solid. Oh, so painful to see. Hopefully, my bike, I still haven't unwrapped it or tried to put it together. I'm assuming I took better care of my bike than they are taking care of theirs. I think I oiled and greased my chain pretty heavily before I left it in storage, but we will see. I didn't unpack it yesterday. It was just pouring rain all day, and it's starting to rain again today, but I might find the energy to put my bike together. PD Waterfront. A little slice of life adventure here in PD. I popped into a local store. It's one of these family-run local grocery stores where it's just jammed with stuff from top to bottom. Not like a modern supermarket, but their prices are a lot better than anywhere else. So that was my go-to shop when I was here before. And I just popped in there now to stock up on a few essentials of life. And I got a bottle of soy milk susu. So they had a couple of different ones there in the cabinet, and I says, oh, give me that one. I think I've had it before, Nora Susu Soya, but I wasn't sure, and I says, yeah, let me try that one. So I walk out of the store with it, and then I'm walking down the sidewalk, and I cannot get into this thing. It's got a aluminum foil cap on it, and I'm trying to break through that thing. I'm digging through my pockets. I'm looking for keys, but I don't have any easily accessible keys. I don't have anything sharp to get through that. I'm trying to gnaw through it with my teeth. I'm trying to get at it with my fingernails. I'm using the plastic arm of my glasses trying to break through, and it's like Fort Knox. I'm like, oh, for Pete's sake, struggling with this lid on the soy milk thing. And then I remember ages ago having the exact same problem, and I eventually figured out the cap has a tooth on it. See that sharp tooth? It has a tooth on it, and you use that, and it's got a special design. You poke through the lid, and then you can spin it in a circle, and it cuts through the foil neatly all the way around the edges. I was like, now I remember how to do that. It took me forever to figure it out, though. So my next errand is to get my sandals fixed. Soy milk. I like soy milk from time to time. And I remember coming down this street and spotting, I think I spotted a cobbler shoe repair place. So this is one of the local non-touristy streets of Port Dickson. So that was an interesting experience. I just popped into that shoe repair place, little cobbler shop, and the man told me one of two things. I'm not entirely clear. He was basically telling me he can't fix my sandals, but I think in reality he didn't like me very much, and he was basically telling me, I won't fix your sandals, and he told me to go away. And I think the problem was he initially looked up at me and just cut me off, and no English, and went back to his work. He wouldn't look at me, he wouldn't make any contact with me. And then I thought, well, I'm in a good mood today. I'm not going to take that as a brush off, and I got out my phone to do Google Translate. And Google Translate can be a little bit of an issue in Malaysia, I find anyway. Maybe I'm imagining it, but there are a number of languages here. There's the Chinese culture, the Malay, the Indian culture. So there's a lot of different languages, and I'm not always sure which one to use. And for some reason, I thought this was a Chinese shop. I thought the man was Chinese. So on Google Translate, I called up Chinese to English to Chinese, and I made a suggestion about the repair because the strap that's broken is torn in two places, and I think he was saying because it's torn in two places, he can't fix it. And I could do it myself. Before I left, I actually typed out on Google Translate, and I told him, well, even I could fix it. So you're a professional shoe repair guy. You're telling me you can't fix it, but it's a very simple job. Even I could do it with my own sewing kit. So I don't think it's a big deal. But I was trying to say to him in Chinese, well, you don't have to use the original strap. You can put in a new one. just grab a strap. He had all kinds of spare pieces and parts there, and you can just take one of these straps and just put in a new one, just sew it up. And he just refused. He took, actually, I even have my old sandals, or I have them, my old ones as well. And I took one of my sandals off to show him what it looks like when it's repaired, and said, okay, this is what it looks like when it's fixed. You know, you can just do this. And he took both of my sandals and just sort of flipped them at me and went back to his job and just said, no, 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 and wouldn't talk to me anymore after that. And because, I think it's because I used Chinese in the Google Translate, and then he looked at the Chinese and says, no, Malay, Malay. And I said, oh, sorry, I don't know what language to use. And I think he was offended that I tried to communicate with him in Chinese. And because I did that, he was quite upset with me, and he just refused to take my business. So I guess I'll just do it myself. As I said, it's not exactly a hard job. I just thought it'd be easier for a cobbler to do it, a professional. But this professional was very sensitive about the language you use to speak with him. So that was a failure. Had a pretty good morning, an amazing breakfast, and a really nice cup of coffee at ZUS, walking around PD, and Soy Milk. Oh, actually, I got so flustered because the guy seemed to be so angry with me that I got flustered and I walked out without my soy milk. I put it down on his counter. Just had a lovely encounter with a woman in a shop where I bought my V-Soy original soybean milk. So this one has a twist-off cap, metal one. I don't think I have to fight through any tin foil on this one. And there's a really nice Indian restaurant right there. I think that's going to become one of my mainstays during this visit to Port Dickson. It's right here on the corner, and my home is just up here, a few minutes away. And there's a man sitting there, saw me walk by, called out, said hello, spoke extremely good English, and we had a little chat about who I am and what I've seen and done in Port Dickson and Malaysia in general. And he says he's always there, and I can come back anytime, have breakfast, have lunch, and if he sees me, we can have a good chat. So that was very, very nice. Yeah, I just realized the Mariamman temple is a good landmark for me in terms of finding my way back to where I'm staying. I can just keep my eyes open for the temple, and I know I'm on the right track. The most direct route is down this road over here. So that is almost it for the small adventures of the morning. It sort of started here at the Mariamman temple, didn't it? One of the first big things I saw when I was walking around. And now it's ending here as well. Well, let me try this new type of soy milk. I'll report back on the flavor, and that will be the end of this video and the small adventures of this morning. Soy milk taste test. It's nice. Has a different flavor. The other kind that I normally get, something slightly different about it. I'm not sure. This is smoother, more milk-like or something. V-Soy original. Both good. Both absolutely delicious. So, all right, heading up the hill back to my house, shutting down for now. The end of my small adventures for this morning, as I said, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.